All right, y'all, welcome to this video where we're going to do only one question, question 9, because I think I can show you the concept once and you should be able to run with it, given the skills that you've already collected in this class. So we have a linear inequality here, but it's not in slope-intercept form, right? We don't see anything that looks like this. Y is not isolated. Y is not solved for. And so before we can even graph this, we are going to want to convert it to slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. So we're going to have to do that first, all right? The first step is going to be to isolate y. All right, so how do we do this? Well, same way we've done this with linear equations, we need to get y by itself. So I need to get rid of any terms that are on the same side as y. So I have this positive 3x here on the same side as y. To get rid of that positive 3x, I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. These cancel. I get negative 2y is less than. And on this side of the equation, I have 10 minus 3x. I want to think about that for a second. A lot of people might write 7x here, but these are not like terms. This does not have a variable, and this, it's a constant, right? And this term does have a variable. And so I can't combine these. So I could leave it as 10 minus 3x. All right, I still don't have y by itself. I have a coefficient of negative 2 to y, and I need to get rid of that coefficient. Coefficients mean multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. This is where we just have to keep remembering the skills that we're building throughout the year. This is why math can be very difficult if you get far behind, because there's a lot of skills here. First, I need to know that these cancel out and that y is by itself now. Then I need to know that I just divided by a negative. And when I divide by a negative with inequalities, I flip the sign. So that's another skill. Here I have some division. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. And here, I think this may be the trickiest part of it all. I have negative 3 divided by negative 2. You know, I guess I could technically leave it as negative 3 over 2, right? Like minus. But what we should know here is that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And so this is really stays or becomes a positive 3 over 2x. And we're not done with the tricky skills here, because this is not perfectly, this equation is done, right? We've isolated y. So this, we're back to where we started in the last video, where we have y by itself at the beginning. And so we had this first process, which is kind of a new skill, to get to a spot where we're at an old skill, just graphing a linear inequality in slope-intercept form. But we also have to understand here that the slope and the intercept aren't always going to look perfectly like y equals mx plus b, because the constant here is first. And that's still the constant. The constant, the number by itself, is always the y-intercept, b. And the coefficient to x is always the slope, m. And so now I have my slope, and I have my b, and now I have to have the skill of plotting this on a line. There's so many unique skills in a question like this. And we'll probably work on this for at least another day after this. And so we're going to start at negative 5, right, on the y-axis, because b is the y-intercept. And then my slope, which is my change in y over my change in x, or rise over run, tells me how to graph the next points. I go up 1, 2, 3, over 2. Up 1, 2, 3, over 2. And you can see a clear pattern emerging. All right, and so now I need to know, do I need a dotted or dashed line? So here's my symbol right here. It is a greater than symbol. Greater than tells me that there is no equal sign here, right? There's no equal sign. So it's going to be a dashed line. So I'm going to connect these with a dashed line. And now I need to know where to shade. So many skills here, right? A greater than symbol, I'm shading up, up, and above, okay? And now we're done. All right, So now you can go ahead and try the rest of this worksheet. There's also another worksheet for you to try after this. And we will hopefully begin to master this. Good luck.